podcasthero.com.
Welcome to the Daily Quote, the podcast designed to kickstart your day in a positive way. I'm your host, Andrew McGivern, and this episode is brought to you by the Great News Podcast, because we could all use some good news. Link is in the show notes. Today's quote comes from Brené Brown, research professor, best-selling author, and the woman whose 2 decades of work on vulnerability, shame, and courage have inspired millions of people to show up more honestly in their lives, their relationships, and their work. From her book, Daring Greatly, she wrote, "Vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they're never weakness." Here's the objection you might be having when hearing this quote. Vulnerability is weakness. Showing your uncertainty, admitting your fear, letting people see the unfinished and imperfect parts of you feels dangerous. It feels like handing someone a weapon. And so we close up and hide to protect ourselves. We project confidence we don't feel. We hide the struggle. We act strong instead of being strong. Brown spent 20 years in research collecting data on this exact pattern, and what she found completely upended the conventional wisdom. Vulnerability creates deeper, more authentic connections because truth sets people free, and courage brings out the best in us while inspiring others to do the same. Think about what Brown is actually saying. Vulnerability sounds like truth, meaning it requires you to speak honestly, even when honesty is hard. And it feels like courage, which means the discomfort you feel when you're being vulnerable isn't a warning sign. It's confirmation that you're doing something brave. Brown found that people who live and love with their whole hearts and who attribute their professional success, their deepest relationships, and their proudest moments to their willingness to be vulnerable share one thing in common: the courage to be imperfect. Living life not absent of fear and not absent of doubt. Just the willingness to show up anyway, honestly, as they actually are. Because the final line of the quote says, "They're never weakness." The armor you've been wearing to protect yourself from vulnerability isn't protecting you from weakness. It's protecting you from connection, growth, and the kind of courage that actually changes things. So here's the question. Where in your life are you currently choosing this self-manufactured armor over the truth? Performing strength instead of showing up honestly. Because Brown's research is clear. The vulnerability you're avoiding isn't weakness. It's the doorway to everything worth having. The connection, the courage, the life that actually feels real. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they're never weakness. That's it for today. I'm Andrew McGivern signing off for now. But I'll be back tomorrow. Same pod time, same pod station, with another Daily Quote.